And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to a Thursday edition of the Ysn Power Hour. DJ Yoakley with you. So excited to be with you because, well, for so many reasons, we have the football season that is literally just 1 week away. That's right. We are less than, well, maybe a little bit more because it's 3 o'clock and the game starts at 7. But we are 7 days away, folks. We are 7 days away from high school football returning to the Valley. And breaking news, we have more games on Thursday. I believe we are up to 5, maybe 6 games on Thursday night that we will have for you all over the Valley and all right here on your sports network. We are so excited to bring this season to you for so many different reasons and to bring all of that stuff together today and to talk about not only the high school football season, but the Youngstown State football season. We're going to have our general manager, Steve Leslie, join us at about 3:30. Steve, the color commentator, of course, for Youngstown State University football, involved in so many ways with YSU, but he's also our general manager and knows a little bit of everything about what's going on. And trust me when I tell you, nobody more excited than Steve when it comes to what's coming up, because this guy watches the Audible Call more than I think Mike Ackelson even does. So when you think about all the trips that Steve and the Penguins have to take, Steve is constantly on that iPad, constantly making sure we are up to date, ready to go, and does such a great job here at YSN. So we're excited to make sure that we get Steve the Gamer out there and of course talk to him about what he's most excited about, who are going to be some of the entertaining teams to watch, and so much more, as we always do with Steve. Now, leading up to that, we've got something to discuss because this is something that has been kind of brewing over the last few days, maybe the last few weeks, maybe even the last few years. And I know that we're gonna step off of the X's and O's talk and talk more maybe about something that doesn't matter to most, or to many, I should say. Maybe not most. Maybe it doesn't matter to many. And that is uniforms. And specifically, we're going to talk about alternate uniforms because that is all the buzz right now, with teams getting alternate uniforms, and sometimes they're changing colors, and why it should matter, why it is a good thing. That's what I'm trying to get. My alma mater, East Palestine, I absolutely love the fact that they're now thinking outside the box. You see them with just unveiling gray uniforms, which I think are incredible. I think it's a great idea. It's, again, this is coming from someone who likes to think outside the box. If you sit Dan Yeagley and DJ Yoakley next to each other, that is one thing that we disagree on wholeheartedly. Dan is a simple guy, right, with simple uniforms, but everything to benefit the kids. Let's blow it out. Let's become Oregon. Let's have 30 uniforms with 30 helmets, with 30 different, whatever it takes, right, to get these kids excited to play. And I know there's going to be some grumps out there, and we're going to talk about that. There's going to be some grumps out there. The kids should be excited to play. They're playing varsity athletics. They should. Listen, there's varsity athletics at every school. You're allowed to get your kids excited. Your kids should want to be excited. And if you can make your kids feel that much more special, then you're doing your job. You're doing your job. But in a world full of people that complain about people that don't do their job, right? These folks, these leaders, these coaches, these athletic directors are doing a great job. School board as well, because they've got some influence in kind of where the money goes. Boosters, they're doing a great job and a great service to the community, getting these kids excited, not only at the varsity level, but when the younger kids look up and they say, oh, look, we can not only wear our colors, but there's some alternate uniforms. And then people are going to sit here and think that I'm pointing just to East Palestine. No. I love what East Palestine is doing. I absolutely love it. I am on board with what the Bulldogs are doing. Their uniforms are gray with brown and orange trim. Love it. Love it. I think there's a little bit of white in there too, outlining the numbers. Absolutely love it. I think it's a phenomenal idea. Getting these kids excited. They should be, because for the last, 2 years, all they've talked about in that place is a train and then derailed train. Let's get people talking about something different. Let's get them talking about the helmets. Let's get them talking about the jerseys. Let's get them talking about being excited again about Bulldog football, about Bulldog athletics, about Bulldog volleyball, about Bulldog golf, whatever it takes to get people to stop the negative connotation, the negative conversation. This is exciting. People should be excited about this. This is not taboo. You have teams that are wearing alternate uniforms all the time. Go look at college football 2K5 or 2, 2K25. There we go. 2K5 would be 20 years ago. Don't look at that. These kids are creating their own uniforms of their own schools to play on video games, which tells you if they're going to invest, 10 to 15, maybe an hour of their time to build a custom uniform, they'd love to have one, right? In real life. Well done. Well done. But there are others. Everybody gets excited about the camouflage game, the Army game, right? When the Army comes to town, the Army Reserves come to town, they give everybody these camo uniforms, which the amount of pride that it probably gives these young men to wear those uniforms on a Friday night is through the roof. But all you hear is people complaining. And I will 100% admit we've been in that boat because under the bright lights, when it's October, right, we can't see the numbers. However, that does not camouflage, no pun intended, and I can't talk, no pun intended, that what a great honor it is to not only be chosen for that, but to wear camouflage and to represent the Army Reserves, to represent your country. It's incredible. Alternate uniforms are going to become more and more frequent as you enter gyms, as you enter football stadiums, as you enter baseball fields, softball fields, as you enter any sport. Because the price of uniforms are going down because there are more manufacturers out there to provide these uniforms. And every school is understanding now that they have a brand that they want to compete with, the brand down the street, the brand down the road, the brand across the state. And I'm not saying that every school needs to have 35, 40 uniforms. What I'm saying is, can we not poo-poo on the idea when these kids get excited about something? Can we not absolutely rain on their parade? Can we not slash the coaches when they're trying to do something special for their own kids? That's what I'm getting at. And there's message boards and social media out there that are just cutting down the point of why these uniforms are in place. Well, they're not in the right school colors. Well, they're not da 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 da. Pardon me, this or that or the other thing. Here's the problem. You have too much time on your hands. It's incredible. It's incredible. We complain when we don't get uniforms or new uniforms, and then we complain when we do. Folks, I get it. I understand it. It's not always going to be the way it was 25 years ago. And that way was the best way. It's a changing, evolving world we're living in. Kids, just like we did when we were in their shoes, we want to feel special. We want something cool. We want to feel proud. We want to represent our community. It's not like it has another name across the chest. It's going to say your high school or your mascot or whatever. Right? You're not flying the flag of another country. You're flying your flag of your community. There are student athletes that have waited their entire lives to do just that, to suit up on a Friday night. And I would argue there are old men and aging women who would love to suit up one more time for their community because they know what it meant to them at that one point in time. and how it changed their life in probably more ways than one. I know if I had the chance to go don the Bulldog colors one more time and suit up and play a baseball game, I'd do it in a heartbeat. 1 year, one more year of eligibility. I would love it. I would love to go back and play for my high school one more time. One more game, even. I think we all have that feeling. Rocky talks about it and he says there's that something in the basement, right? There's something in the basement that he's got to get out and have one more fight. I think we all kind of have that. It's something that we excel in. We want one more good one. And I think that's the difference. I think we're looking back and we're saying, well, they should be wearing, I mean, think about the jerseys. Think about your practice jerseys. If you're my age, I'm 39. If you're my age or older, think about the practice jerseys that you had in football. They didn't fit. They were probably all, I mean, hand-me-downs of hand-me-downs of hand-me-downs. They were ours were the thick, like open mesh, right? With numbers basically painted on so they could identify you. That's what we're looking at. And these kids now, it's incredible. It's incredible to see what they're able to have. I mean, they're old game uniforms, most of them, in practice. They're not really doing hand-me-downs anymore because middle schools and elementary schools are holding their own fundraisers to get their own game uniforms so they fit snug and they fit properly instead of using ones that are probably intended for kids that are way older than they were. I mean, my middle school game photo, our picture day photo, looks like I was probably wearing or should have been wearing something out of my father's closet. Right? That's how I would be identified. Today, things are a little bit more snug. They fit better because we understand that if you've got all this material around you, you're easier to grab, you're easier to hold, you're easier to take down. There's all kinds of reasons. The times have changed, folks. Alternate jerseys. And again, they're not going to be just one school. We're going to start seeing these in every school. And we might see some very interesting colors in uniforms. I mean, look at what they're doing in the major leagues. Look at what they're doing in the NBA. We're starting to see it all over. The NFL, I'm sure, isn't far behind if they haven't already started it. They've got these throwback uniforms, but the baseball have City Connect. You've got these other ones in basketball that it doesn't look at like their colors. It's not even close to their colors. The San Diego Padres are what, brown and yellow now? They used to be blue and orange. Now, or blue and gold as well. Throw that in there. Now they've got alternate uniforms that are pink and green and aqua. I mean, it looks like a Barbie threw up on their uniform, but the kids like it. It's exciting. And if the kids like these pro uniforms, why wouldn't they like something like this? And in the world of open enrollment, the world of kids have choices, parents have choices, you got to recruit your own hallways. That's what we always hear, right? This is a great option. This is a great option for people to get really excited about. And yet we sit there and we belittle coaches and we belittle school boards and communities because they're trying to, I don't want to, pander's not the right word. They're trying to support their kids and say, hey, you like this? We do too. We're behind you 100%. Let's get them excited about this. So guess what? On Friday night, they roll out there. They feel a little bit better, feel good, play good. Season goes good. Like it's silly to complain about this. It's silly. And I understand it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to play both sides, but I do agree with anything we can do to help these kids out or give them something to get excited about. I'm on board. Hand in the pile. hand in the pile, hands down. I'm in for that. But if we're just going to complain about it, you're going to see coaches and school boards and people are just go, you know what, then the heck with you. We should be more worried about, and this was a great comment that I saw today. This was the winner. This won the internet today. We should be more worried about going out and supporting our student athletes on a regular basis on a Friday night or a Thursday night or a Tuesday night or whatever night it is during the week. That's what we should be worried about, is supporting those kids. If you want to wear your home colors, knock yourself out. But guess what? When you show up and it's not your home colors and you're not wearing those colors because maybe it wasn't clean, maybe you don't have school colors anymore necessarily that you don. I'll bet you those coaches and those kids aren't going to say boo to you because they're just happy you're there. They're happy you're there. They're happy you're supporting what they're trying to do, that you're showing up on that night to support what they've worked hard for throughout the year, and you're not complaining about the clothes they show up in. These coaches, these schools, these organizations are doing whatever they can to help your kids, your student athletes feel like $1 million, feel like pros, that they want to go out there and they want to do their community proud. That's where it's at. To me, that's where it ends. That's where it begins. That's where it ends. I am incredibly proud of my community. I'm incredibly proud of every community that goes out and goes and thinks creatively outside of the lines, outside of the box. That creative thinking is what gets you to the next level. That's what gets people onboarded with you, right? It's not all about motivating quotes and rah-rah speeches. Sometimes it's about being able to say, hey, we got this for you because we believe in you and we want you to be excited about what you're about to do and who you're about to fight for. That's it. Only in America, folks. Only in America will we be complaining about alternate jerseys. That's just how it is, right? Because that's what we have to worry about right now. These kids are out there busting their tails. Don't worry about what they're wearing. Worry about showing up. End of rant. All right, we have Anthony Panici. Oh my goodness. Amen on the evolution of uniforms and the unreal amount of complaining that has drawn. DJ, you hit it on the head. Evolution means change, and these kids want to feel special. Mr. Panici, it is great to hear from you. It has been a minute, my friend. It has been a minute since I have heard from you, and thank you for tuning in. We greatly appreciate it, all of you tuning in here today for the Ysn Power Hour. Obviously, there's this, again, it's more than, I think the alternate jersey thing is a little bit of a mascot for some of the things that these schools are doing, right? There's people a couple years ago that complained that the footballs are not brown enough. Like, for instance, this is the old school football, right? This is a football that was given to us. I'm trying to remember who the Sycamores. Is that Indiana State? I think that's Indiana State. Illinois. I don't know who. They're in the YSU's conference. This was given to us by our friends at Youngstown State University. Okay, so you have this football, and this is the traditional color of a college football, a high school football. Wilson came out with another brand of a football that was almost orange, I want to say. I mean, it was a little bit, it was tan, but you look at it, it was a little bit closer to orange than it was brown. People complained about that. Well, I mean, we're literally just finding things to complain. This is the evolution of sports. This is where we want to be. This is where we have to be. Because if we're happy with kind of the way things are, and things don't change, then it's going to stay the same forever. Right? You don't want that. You want continued evolution. You want things to evolve, to get better. Imagine if we didn't evolve our programs. Imagine. Okay, well, we're going to do bench press forever. All we care about is deadlifting. We're not worried about the 40-yard dash. In fact, all we're going to do is push-ups and sit-ups. We don't have any weight equipment. Go back to the 1970s. Go back to the 60s. I mean, there's books that are written that these players in the NFL, in the league, were not working out. They showed up and they played. And they did push-ups and they did box squats and weighted squats. You know, by weighted squats, I mean like the weight of them. That's it. And they did 12-ounce curls. That's what they did. And now you've got people that will not ingest an ounce of alcohol. They won't ingest a carb. It's all protein. You know, they're downing protein shakes. They're not eating red meat. They're doing everything in order to make their body a temple so it performs at its highest level. And we can't make fun of that. We can't even poke at that because usually that's the guys that win 7 Super Bowls. How do you argue with that? It's absolutely incredible. It's nuts to me. It really is. And evolution of sports, evolution of every aspect of the sports. Imagine if we didn't have headsets on the sideline during a football game. Imagine if coaches had to wear full 3-piece suits during football games. Imagine if there was no film to watch and you just had to guess. You had to actually go scout those teams. You couldn't watch them on film, on huddle. Evolution is good, my friends. Evolution is great even. But to get mad at the threads that a team is wearing because they're trying to evolve their program and be exciting, I think that's absolutely you're spitting in the wind. Because those same people are probably going to want the evolution of the next big screen TV, the evolution of, hey, what's YSN have this year that's new and exciting? Oh, they suck. They've only got one camera. You know, it's one of those things. They hate change, but they're willing to change themselves when it's convenient for them. I'm just saying, evolution is part of life. It is part of life. It is part of everything. And if you don't like evolution from the standpoint of things getting better, man, you are in for a tough time, my friends. You're in for a real tough time. We're going to take a break. We come back. Hopefully, the general manager, Steve Leslie, is going to be on the other side, and we will talk high school football, who's going to be good, who to look out for, and then we're going to talk some YSU football as well. All of that and more coming up on the Ysn Power Hour presented by Toyota of Warren.
We believe expectations are made to be exceeded. At the new Toyota of Warren, it's about more than just getting a great deal. It's about service you can count on and a friendship you can trust. Year after year, we've done what we do best. We've gone the extra mile so you could too. Because we know it's just not about buying a new car. It's the start of a new adventure. Toyota of Warren, driven by you.
It means the world to me to know that what we're doing is impacting people. And whether it's simply, I got to watch my son or daughter when I was out of town, or we just love watching YSN. We love what you do for our son or daughter. So whenever someone says thank you or someone is appreciative of what we're doing, it tells me everyone at YSN is doing what we initially set out to do, which is shine a light on these athletes and help them kind of promote themselves. My name is Anthony Hartwig, and my sports network is your sports network.
As Comco celebrated 70 years in 2022, we have much to be thankful for. We are proud of the Comco culture as we serve our customers with Comco Care with our premier customer service, quality parts, and on-time delivery. The partnerships we have with our customers and our community are second to none. We thank you for your continued support. We are proud to be part of this community and will continue to offer great jobs for great people.
Change. This one word can make you break out in a cold sweat. But with change comes wisdom, experience, and understanding. At Myers Family Insurance, we can help make changes in Medicare, insurance, and retirement a positive experience for you and your family. We've gone through changes, like our new office and new faces to help our family of clients too.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance. Check us out online at myersfamilyins.com or find us on Facebook.
Sheely's is more than a furniture store. We're a hub for all of your appliance needs. We offer the widest selection at everyday low prices, with over $1 million of in-stock inventory from Whirlpool, KitchenAid, LG, GE, and more. Our knowledgeable, no-pressure sales staff can help you find the perfect appliances for your home. We're there for you beyond your purchase to service what we sell and offer free local delivery with 24-month special financing. Sheely's, the best things in life happen at home. Sheely's is more than a furniture store. We're a hub for all of your appliance needs. We offer the widest selection at everyday low prices, with over $1 million of in-stock inventory from Whirlpool, KitchenAid, LG, GE, and more. Our knowledgeable, no-pressure sales staff can help you find the perfect appliances for your home. We're there for you beyond your purchase to service what we sell and offer free local delivery with 24-month special financing. Sheely's, the best things in life happen at home.
There we go. 2 commercials in a row. You know how it goes. DJ Yoakley right here with the Ysn Power Hour coming at you live from athletics here in Columbiana, our home. We've been so absolutely excited to become part of the athletics family here. Visit us right off of State Route 7 in Columbiana. A beautiful facility if you haven't been. But some guy that has been many times is the next guest here on the Ysn Power Hour presented by Toyota of Warren. Ladies and gentlemen, the general manager of your sports network, the color man for the Youngstown State University football Penguins. Give it up for Steve Leslie.
What's up, Deej?
How we doing, buddy?
I'm good. How about you, brother?
I'm doing well. You just got off work. Thanks for taking time for us today.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
Just, first things first, we were there. Obviously, we had a camp for all our new announcers Saturday and Sunday. And again, so impressed with athletics, DJ, and what they do. And Sean Wardle and the Wardle family welcoming us in is huge for us. And I know how proud you are of that. But, man, every time I go in there, I come out more and more impressed with what they're doing, what they're trying to do, and where they're headed.
No, we're excited. It's just something new. I feel like every time we walk in here, and especially after a 2.5 month layoff here for us for the summer, I walk in and man, everything's new. It's bright, it's exciting, and it smells good because they got the concession stand right next to YSN. So it always, I feel like I'm gaining weight as we speak, and I'm just drinking water. Steve, you've had an unbelievable summer at the park. Once again, holding it down for Class B, the NABF, all of that stuff. For you, there's like a hard switch, like an e-brake, if you will, when you go from the summer baseball as it winds down to full bore in football. So talk to me about the adjustments that you have to make in order to keep doing what you do on a year in, year out basis.
Yeah, it's fun. It's exciting. I'll tell you that August 1st, usually we try to flip the switch, get in touch with you and kind of get situated in the football things. My end of it, continuing to try to get obviously sponsors, get high school shows, get people on our network, into our network and continue to do those things. But, let's be honest, there isn't a better time of year for us. And that's nothing against all our other sports, but the fall always is special to us with so many things: soccer, volleyball, and of course football. And for me, August 1st, usually Mike Ackelson's one of the guys that pops into my name, the audible call. I know we'll probably talk about that, but that has been a great prize for us at YSN to promote all our games on Friday and Saturdays.
No, I wholeheartedly agree with you on that. Audible Call is the only of its kind in the country when it comes to high school athletics and how we do it on a Friday night. All right, let's start here. Let's put all the YSN stuff on the back burner. Football this year, who has you excited? Why are you excited about a year like this? And who should we be keeping an eye on as we continue to tune in on YSN and buy those tickets around town?
Yeah, I think you tune in for sure. I think it's a year where you're going to have a lot of new names, a lot of new faces. We've been solid the last 3 or 4 years of football, won some state championships. And you know what? I'm going to go right where probably you leave off, South Range again. I think Coach Rock does a phenomenal job taking over for Coach Yeagley. This will be his second year. So I think you'll see Coach Rock maybe put some of his stamps and fingerprints on them. That's a good football team. Obviously, Youngstown Ursuline's a good football team. Austintown Fitch is a very good football team with Coach Parker. But one that I've paid a little interest to, the Cardinal Mooney Cardinals, I think have gotten some depth, have played a lot of young kids the last 2 years. And I think Cardinal Mooney is going to be that team that surprises some people this season.
I mean, there's nobody better to ask than you. A lot of people, when it comes to Cardinal Mooney and Ursuline, are kind of scratching their head about this new league that they're in, an all kind of Catholic league that they're in. I mean, when you first heard about this, is this exciting to you? Is this kind of, what side of the fence are you on when you see
I'm excited for it. I really am. I think when you look at both schools, I think you see a lot of those schools that Cardinal Mooney and Ursuline play. So why not become a league? I think it's going to be good for the exposure of the league. I think it's going to be one of the better leagues in Ohio when it gets up and gets rolling. And from a football standpoint, every week you're going to have a big time football game. And at YSN, for me, it's a big thing for us now to get out into those areas and cover the Columbus schools, the Cleveland schools, the Akron schools. So I think it's a win-win. I think they play one another anyway. So not really surprised that they were able to get together and join such a good conference.
All right, we talked about what the excitement of this football season coming up. I mean, you watch the Audible Call almost religiously. You can always tell us when there's something that's going. I mean, you're literally the first text message anytime there's a snafu. Why is the Audible Call so nice for you, and why should people maybe give it a try if they haven't already?
God, that's a great question. I think it's just exciting. It's new. It's the only thing that high school football has. And I know we talk a lot. There's a lot of people that board a chartered flight to head on a YSU trip that are in tune with YSN when we get to our destination. I try to eat dinner a little earlier, but at 7:00, there's a lot of people on that YSU travel group that pays attention to YSN. And for me to be the GM for you, that speaks volumes. That means a lot. You know, a lot of local kids on that football team, myself, yourself, and a lot of our announcers have called that name. Those kids that play college football still want to know and want to watch what their high school team's doing on Friday night. That's the key for me. No matter if you're from here, not from here, out of the area, you get a chance to watch a relative, a grandson, someone in your family compete on a high level, and it's a great thing for all of us.
Let's stay on that chartered flight and let's talk about YSU football this year. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of buildup and excitement around the Penguins. Doug Phillips makes another season of great job in the transfer portal, another great job recruiting. But we're starting to see some local boys take over. Last year, we saw Mitch Davidson really make a name for himself, had a tryout with the San Francisco 49ers. Who are some of the names that we should be familiar with already, but maybe they're getting their shot this year for YSU, Steve?
Yeah, I think a lot of them are going to get their shots, a lot of local talent. You know, one of the things I'll first start with, you know, you look at predictions, there were picked 6th or 7th, but let's be honest, North Dakota State, South Dakota State, those are obviously the top 2. From 3 to 8, Deej, it's anybody's ball game, and we're right there to compete for a playoff start. But for me, it starts with the quarterbacks. We have 2 local kids that I love both of them. I really do. Bo Brungard and Brady Shannon. I was able to watch the scrimmage Friday night. They both complement one another very well and do some different things. So I think you'll see some plays and some packages that you'll see both of those guys get in and compete. Obviously, Bo may be running a little more. Brady threw a couple good balls Friday night at the scrimmage. They each threw a touchdown pass. So it's going to be to continue what Mitch did. But for me, I love the running back situation. Tyshawn King is a starter, 1,000-yard rusher returning, and he's going to be a good one. And the other one I was able to get a good look at that we saw in the spring, Ethan Wright, the transfer from the University of Cincinnati, is a flat-out stud. So the dynamic duo in the backfield is good, but the strength of the Penguins is on the offensive line. 4 starters back. Desmail Lee and Jason Williams are 2 all-leaguers. They do a lot of good things and those types of things. Metzler as a guard coming back. Those guys, Aiden Parker as the center. So 4 to 5 on offense back with a lot of skill at the receiver position, and Max Tomczak and some talented receivers. So offensively is going to be a very talented team. I think it's going to be a group that wants to run the football a little more, and I think Coach Phillips likes that. In a tough league, you have to be able to run it, but very talented offense. Now, defensively, you said it. Transfer City, baby. And this is the way sports, we've talked, I've watched your shows. The transfer portal is a big thing, and Coach has done a great job in bringing some transfers in. A lot of transfers had left, but I think we've done a good job of replacing some of the help in the secondary. At the linebackers, a young man coming from Iowa State is talented right now, and he's doing a good job. And a lot of those guys are back on the defensive side. Michael Voitis from Poland, we've called that name. He's a senior now. So the local guys will get a good look. Dwan Martin and the defensive line is good. So I think it's one of the more talented teams Doug has had since he's been there. I think it's a playoff caliber football team, obviously, but when you go open up 2 weeks from tonight at Villanova, who's ranked 5th in the FCS, that's a tough task, but I know the kids are looking forward to it. So you got
Villanova and what, Pitt, right? Those are the big ones.
Villanova and Pitt are the Pitt's the money game. So you go at Villanova, and then I believe it's Duquesne and 2 non-league games, and then 2 Pitt, and then right to the league. So when you look at their schedule, 7 out of the 12 will be ranked in the top 25 in the rankings. So it's a talented schedule, but I think that's what grit you and what we talk about. You want to play the best, you want to beat the best. So I'm looking forward to it. I really am. I think it's going to be a very, very exciting year for the Penguins.
It's no secret that the defense was a letdown last year across the board for all of Penguin Nation. Do you think that there's a steep increase in the talent level that we saw from last year to this year?
Yeah, I think a lot more unity, I think, is one of the things I noticed Friday night talking with some of the coaches. I think they're coming together a little quicker than maybe some previous teams. Some of the younger kids have gotten more practice reps, which I think is a huge, huge thing. Senafani at Poland comes to my mind. He's a DB that will be in the mix. Jalen Castleberry, those guys. Hunter Allen is a defensive end that's played for 3 years. So I think guys are going to get a chance to put their stamp on it as a junior or senior now, rather than being one of those rep guys that gets limited reps. I think you're going to see a group that will get after the football with the new defensive coordinator. I think he's done a great job, but it'll be a very aggressive attack style defense.
Now, you're a guy that doesn't get starry-eyed when he meets people or goes places. Is there one coach or one team or one venue that you're looking forward to being around this year?
Oh boy, it's got to be South Dakota State. This will be my, second trip there. It's a state-of-the-art facility. One of the best football obviously, they've won it. Gronowski's the quarterback. I say jokingly to people, I think he's been there for every year that's of the 7 that I've done, and it feels like we've called him. That's just what you chase. I think when you go out to North Dakota State and South Dakota State, it's a thrill for me because we're bringing Youngstown and we're bringing our grit to try to beat them. And the last time we went to South Dakota State, we lost by 3 points. So I'm excited to go out there and kind of see where we're at. And the biggest thing that I think our local fans don't understand, that's all they have out there, North Dakota State, South Dakota State. They don't fight other big-time college atmospheres like we do here, Ohio State, Pitt, Notre Dame. Those are big time games that people want to go watch, and they get their attendance there because those people are diehards for North Dakota State, South Dakota State. But nothing better than going to those places, and obviously nothing better than calling a game in the Ice Castle when you see a good crowd and our kids playing hard and the Valley and the community represented. And for me, as was the YSN guy and the color guy here, and our big time sponsor in FMJ, you see them all over Youngstown State University, their sponsorships and all that WFMJ does makes me proud of what I do.
You should be, and you're very good at it. And I got one last question for you before I let you go. Something I don't know that we've ever kind of talked about on air. I know what it means to you off air, but I guess the biggest thing to me is when people think about Youngstown sports, you are certainly in that conversation. I've pushed for you many a times to be in several different Hall of Fames. I think you deserve every bit. But that's a side note. Why is it that Youngstown, and specifically Youngstown sports, means so much to you?
It means the world to me because that's who I am. I'm a competitor. I want to win. I want to compete. I want to help kids. It means the most to me because those are the guys I was able to play for at a young age: at Cardinal Mooney, Ron Stoops, Don Butchie, Roy Nard, Bob Seen Sr. in baseball with the Astro Falcons. Those guys instilled in me the desire to be a little bit of a leader and a desire to continue to carry on the sports traditions that those guys have carried on forever. And you, my friend, have done that. You've given me one of the best opportunities to go out and share that platform. And, I think YSN is the best because that's who we all are. We all want to do nothing but the best for our student athletes, for our communities, and those types of things. And that's kind of what I lay on my stamp daily as being a person, what I want to do, be a good person, treat people good, and good things happen for those that wait for it. And fortunately, I'm enjoying every second of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the best you'll ever meet, the GM of YSN and the color man of the Youngstown State University Penguins, Mr. Steve Leslie. Steve, thank you so much.
Absolutely. And you know what,
brother?
Before we go, we talk about this all the time. I'm excited, and I know you'll probably go to see some of our new faces. I really am. Some of our new announcers, some new things. Yeah, the old guys, they'll be the same crew back, but is it fair to say without new, you can't get to where you want to go?
Evolution, baby. We just talked about it.
I love what you're talking about. The uniforms, I'm all in. I would like to see teams wear a new uniform every week if they could. I truly would, because that's what people want to see today and do things. But just wanted to say that. And for those that are listening, thank you for all you do for us. And it's not too late to be a sponsor because high school football is 1 week away.
We are cooking 7 days, buddy.
That's
7
it.
days.
7 days.
Think about our shows that we're going to be doing. Those are huge for not only us at YSN for content, but for these young men and women, the coaches, to get fed, to be on display. And that's you, my friend. That's your brain.
That was one of the things, and those will be starting up next week. Stay on YSN for all those. And again, if you want a show, get a hold of the guy behind the mic right there. We'll find a way. No guarantees, no promises, but we'll find a way. If you want to sponsor a show for your school, we'll be on it as best we can. And I think it's a great thing for everybody.
We got it. Steve Leslie, the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you.
All right. Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. Steve-O, my guy, forever. One of the best human beings you are going to meet. A guy that continuously just puts himself out there to give back to these student athletes, the future generations of student athletes. It's not just a one-time thing. It's constantly. It's every day. How can I give back? How can we give back? How can we get better? And I mean, nobody epitomizes Youngstown more than Steve Leslie. So thanks to Steve for joining us today. Greatly appreciate it. And all his insight, especially when it comes to high school sports and college. I mean, YSU, nobody knows it better than Steve Leslie. So big thanks to him for stopping by. And man, that last line says everything about it, right? He wants evolution. He wants evolution in YSN. He wants, every time he comes in, hey, what can we do better? What can we do better? What can we do better? Hand in the pile guy. We love him. Steve Leslie joined us today on the YSN Power Hour, brought to you by Toyota of Warren. And that brings us up to our some people's favorite time of the day. It is time for What's Your Spark, presented by Joe Dickey Electric. Anything electrical, give Joe Dickey Electric a call or visit them on the web at dickieelectric.com. What's Your Spark, presented by Joe Dickey Electric. Once again, visit them today at dickieelectric.com. A real simple spark for me today. It's surrounding yourself with good people, right? Sometimes you can kind of get mixed up with the wrong crowd. It's easy to do. Everybody's walking one way. You just kind of want to see what's going on. But it's the people that are walking the other way, the leaders, the ones that are unafraid to walk with the wind blasting them in the face. Those are the people that you want to surround yourself with. The people that are sitting at tables talking about their plans, their goals, their financials, how to get better. Those are the people that you want to surround yourself with, not the ones talking about people, right? Those are the different tables. And I think when it all boils down to it, we need to understand that making the right decision isn't always easy. It's not always easy, and it's not always going to pay off right from the jump. For me, it's been that way the whole time. It's been doubts and frustrating and everything that comes down to it. But I'm telling you, the persistence, the being consistent, being persistent, being someone that sometimes, and I'm not bragging, it's very challenging, but being someone who is not afraid to be themselves and be authentic, that's the way you have to be. So if you're sitting in a situation right now where you don't feel comfortable, you don't feel like it's yourself, please, 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 there is no time like the present to change the way and change who you are and who you want to be. Go after your goals. Go after people that are like-minded, like you. Go after people that want bigger and better things, because staying at the bottom is going to do nothing for you in the long run. You're just going to answer to somebody who answers to somebody who answers to somebody. Please be a leader. Step up, be a leader. If not for you, for somebody else. That's going to do it for our show today. Tune in tomorrow to the Ysn Power Hour for more sports, stories, scores, all that. Go to ysnlive.com/live. We'll see you tomorrow right here on the Power Hour, powered by Toyota of Warren. Ysn thanks you